Good morning, friends, and thank you for joining our podcast today. I am Chinmay Kare from Industry Connect, and today I have with me a multifaceted professional. So I have had the pleasure of working with him for a brief period a few years back, but he's an expert in automotive technologies, works with Daimler Trucks in Bangalore, has I think about 25 years of professional experience in product development, particularly automotive. So he is also a master's and completed his PhD from NTU Singapore. And interestingly, he has an MA in psychology as well. So he is a tech guy with a psychology degree, right? He's one of the key drivers of innovation and entrepreneurship in Tumblr, and also author of a book, right, called Captive Catch. So welcome, Mr. Sachin Patidar, and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Chinmay. Just small correction. The PhD in Singapore, I just did half. I dropped out because I was not feeling that is inspiring. So
Oh,
I'm
really?
still, I
Okay.
still continuing PhD in other subject, which I'll let you know later. But
Okay.
I plan to do again. But that one was one attempt which I did. Was there for a couple of months, but then I was not feeling very inspired during that time. So I come back. Yeah, but
Okay.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for having me here, and thank you for nice introductions. Happy to support all of our future generation workforce, our future engineers to shape their career. Looking forward.
Excellent. Excellent. So I think let's jump into the conversation right away.
Mhm.
Sachin, what we would want to know is basically tell us briefly about your early education journey and know what got you into engineering. Where did you grow up?
Mhm. So, many people like us started their career from small town, right? So I'm from a small town of Madhya Pradesh. It's near to Indore, one of the cleanest city of India. So
Okay.
135 kilometer from Indore. A farmer family, agriculture is our base. I am the first one who was able to actually go till higher secondary, high school and higher secondary in my complete family. And then what? That was a big question, and I would say I was really blessed one. My uncle, my maternal uncle, Mamaji, supported me to for further education, and I moved to the Indore. And that was actually trigger point because when I moved to Indore, uh, I got a very good company. People around me were from good educated family, and they have some aspirations to do certain things, and that's how it get triggered to be a little bit more competitive in a bigger world to pursue certain higher education. And that time trigger was engineering or medical like today, but that time
Mm,
only two. And
correct.
I love to do mathematics, and that's why I
Okay.
fall for the engineering. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was an interesting journey also in engineering. I did my bachelor's from the one of the top college of Madhya Pradesh,
Mm,
SGS Indore. It was like one of the oldest government engineering college, top college. Then I did my master's from VJTI Mumbai
okay.
in machine design subject. So it was also very good. You know, VJTI is after IIT. Unfortunately, I want to do in machine design.
Yep.
That's why I pushed for IIT. I scored around 97 percentile in the GATE, which was not sufficient for machine design in IIT Bombay. Then I chose
Okay.
VJTI, which is again second best college.
Mm,
Um, it was really a competitive year 2002, and I got selected in Automotive Research Association of India. So
okay.
this was another breakthrough. Out of 45 students, only the one they selected me. And selection for ARAI is a big thing because you are at the top of automotive chain, right? You are at the industry where you know everything. So in ARAI,
Mm,
we are responsible for certification of any vehicle you launch in India. So
okay.
any vehicle, two-wheeler, four-wheeler you want to launch in India, it has to be certified by a government agency. Now, the ARAI has different branches in Delhi and Chennai. but ARI was the first that times. Four-wheeler, two-wheeler, all emission certificates, all safety certificates. I was lucky to be in R&D department there. So we used to conduct various R&D research project for future generation vehicles. And 3 years I was there. It was a very
Okay,
good
excellent.
experience. We built a lot of safety labs. I was inclined to be a safety engineer. So I
Okay.
become a
Hmm.
crash simulations, all your airbag, all your seat belts and everything I used to simulate. And that's where 3 years I spent there. Very interesting time, but I thought, okay, let's go a little bit deeper into this subject because if you are in research, you need to have depth, right? And that's why I chose to go to Singapore for my PhD in impact dynamics. I was there for a couple of months. This was sponsored PhD,
Hmm.
funded PhD. Everything was good, but I found PhD guys were not that time in Singapore, at least that time was not very much inspiring, which means what you'll do after that. In India, I was having a great job in government company. I dropped the government job first of all and then went for Singapore PhD. After a couple of months, I dropped that and joined back to Mercedes Benz. So now you're in Mercedes
Okay.
Benz, which and safety department. So I joined as a first simulation engineer in India for Mercedes Benz. We started with simulating our new C class and S class for all safety,
Okay.
frontal impact, side impact, and all that. So that's how I started my professional journey, and it continued till 20 years, and I diversified from there a lot. Maybe we'll talk later on that. So that's how my journey
Oh,
here.
that, oh, that is interesting. That is interesting. So, from I just let me take a cue from what you just told me right now. So, I want to just understand from you, coming from a background or from a smaller town, and
Mm.
you got into engineering. When you got into job, you must have faced certain challenges. What was those biggest challenges for you when you know, from a small place, you come into like a big place, then you actually go into Singapore? There's a huge difference of exposure, huge difference of
It's yeah,
in terms of no scenario, because and but I think I can see the passion with which you have pursued. I think that comes out very strongly because your passion for automotive engineering or mechanical, and your willingness to really go deep into the subject, I think must have taken you places. But I just want to learn from you as a cue for other students, because in India we have so many engineering colleges. Most of them may not be the best of them, but they are in tier 2, tier 3 cities where a lot of students study. From your experience, I want you to know, give them a couple of nuggets of advice in terms of how they should be planning or thinking about moving ahead, moving away, moving out after their degrees, what they should be doing, and what were your from your journey, what has been those critical decision points which have helped you move out of that after studies, move out into the real world and create
yeah.
a good career path for yourself.
Yes, Chinmay, this is very important question and interesting topic and to discuss here because uh, people like me who come from the average center India or some part of India which are not proper developed, they face a lot of challenges, right? The first challenge which I faced was language.
Hmm.
My hometown, we don't have even Hindi as a local language. Our local language was Nimadi, right? A
Okay.
derivative of the Hindi. So I don't know how to speak Hindi. When I came to Indore, I was not able to communicate with people because the language difference I can see. It's within the Hindi there are very variants like Marathi. Everyone
Understand.
has a
Correct.
different deviations. And
Correct. Correct.
I was talking a pastel language, a Boli, and then you don't know how to speak Hindi. And when you try to speak, people make fun of you. Correct. You are not accepted in that larger circle first of all. So that was the first challenge. Many of us fail. Now, when you go from here, and I cope up that challenge, I did one thing different from my all friends who came from village, that I created a different circle of friends who are from different background. From some people are from the service class, some from business class, some from agriculture, but a a diverse network, learning from people. That was my philosophy. Like, I'm people student, I call it. So I learn from them how they talk, how they speak, how they walk, how do they wear. Still there was little bit rusticness within me, right? That's because I'm an agriculture farmer. That energy really helped me to shape and learn different things. So I cope up that first. And then when I went to the engineering, another challenge, English. I'm from Hindi medium. I'm
Hmm.
from completely Hindi medium, and I feel proud that today I wrote a book in English. Of course, ChatGPT helped me, but um,
Excellent.
I really I failed miserably in many areas because of my poor communication skill. Right? Still, I get feedback, and I really work on that. So when I realized that I have a technical knowledge, I have a passion, but how
Correct.
should I manifest that? And that I took as a challenge, that how should I able to manifest, how should I carry myself, how should I present myself, how should I communicate with a larger audience. And then you come up with your inner resistance or your inner shame, or you say, or what people will say about it.
Correct. Correct.
So I overcome that. That's the first thing. And to overcome,
Excellent.
of course, mindset is one thing, which is very, very important thing. Attitude is second thing, and the third important thing is efforts. So I put efforts. I wrote GRE, right? I wrote GRE. I wrote GMAT. I wrote all exams, okay? Because it's not about fun of verifying exams. It's fun of learning. So with GRE, I learned a lot of vocab. With GMAT, I learned a lot of professional innovation, all mathematics and all those stuff. Connect with the different people when you go to coaching class. I learn from their mindset, all that I learn, and that really helped me to kind of cope up with the challenges of language, right? And that's one thing which I use as a leverage of transformation. I also got stuck.
Excellent.
The bigger problem when I face and I got stuck, that when you move in life, right? You from a village to a city, city to a town, or metro city, or to international city, you need to transform yourself. You need to leave some stuff, right? And move on. And people, we don't do
Right.
that. And this is we do when we move from higher secondary to college. We
Hmm.
cannot think like a school student. From
Correct.
college, when we move to corporate world, and this is a transition, and this is the time many people fail. In college, we are student, we have freedom to think, freedom to walk, freedom to say anything, but when you go to corporate world, it altogether different ball game. And we give today also a training, right? Corporate immersion programs are there, soft
Correct.
skill trainings are there, many trains. But what my learning is that you learn from your own experience, with your own attitude, with your own hard learning sometime. But you need to keep in mind that it's like chapters. Chapter one should close, and then we should go to chapter. We always carry over chapter one, chapter two, chapter three, and we mess up our life. So this is my philosophy, that I change chapters so that you move on. You do not carry those old habits. You should not carry those old attitude, and you need to get rid of those learning, also unlearn and learn new thing. And this unlearning and learning is important. Still, I have some kind of accent problem, and okay, it's not to be shamed, right? Because today we are having a very diverse country, diverse people. It's okay.
Correct.
We need to speak right. That's it. Don't worry about too much of accent. We don't have to be like American
Yeah.
or British.
True.
But whatever we say, we need to. And I realize that you can make difference if you have content, depth. And then now I started developing content, depth, reading, and then you create your own thought process. The depth will come, and then people will listen to you. That's what I say. That attitude
Excellent.
has really helped me.
Excellent. Excellent. I think that's a fantastic piece of advice that you have given here. And truly commendable. I think I can see the kind of effort it must have taken for you to really, traverse that path. So interesting. I was looking at your profile that you shared, and I saw that you mentioned about the PhD, but I think you also did a master's, right? You said in VAGTI you did a master's. So let us talk about that. So do you think in the current context of engineering world and the corporate world, will how much does a master's degree help, and do students should think about doing a master's program, or who should think about doing a master's program, or even pursuing a PhD, since you have tried both?
Yeah, yeah. So PhD, I'd say masters. If you really passionate about any subject, any technology, anything which you really want to do more of the cognitive work, okay, I would recommend to go for masters because it adds different value. Let me tell you difference here. People who are with me in
Hmm.
college in bachelor's, there are join different companies, Tata Motors, Mahindra, and
Hmm.
good companies. Okay, and I went for masters. So the difference here is that when they join company, they join some of them, very few of them join R&D department. Most
Hmm.
of them join production line, other
Okay.
stuff. But
Okay.
masters help me to go into more on the white collar job, right? I
Okay.
am in research and development. So I develop a little bit more focused subject knowledge on certain subjects, right? Machine
Hmm.
design, for example. So I
Got it.
know a little bit with the depth. And when you go and present yourself in a community of research scientists and everything, and you
Hmm.
carry the masters, you really have a little bit of a kind of weightage there, right?
Excellent.
Same
Yes.
goes with your PhD. If I would have not dropped that PhD, if I had done, maybe I will be somewhere else, but I will be a Dr. Sachin Patidar, right? It has a lot of weightage when you see in long term. So
Got it.
any education in long term always help. So if you, if the circumstances support us, I would
Hmm.
say if we are able to afford, if we are able to pursue, we should pursue education as far as we can do because
Okay.
education really elevate us and create and philosophy. PhD is, if you say, it's a doctorate of philosophy, right? It's a, you become philosopher, you become a you develop your own theory on certain subject matters. It's a very
Correct.
different feeling around it.
Hmm.
And that's why I said I always feel that I'll do PhD maybe in psychology or behavioral science, maybe different topic now. Uh, but education is must, and still that's why I did my second master's in MA in psychology because I learned engineering, and then I learned from somewhere in 2016 during a time when we connected Chennai. It's a lot of disruption everywhere, and I learned that a people should have a very diverse skill set as diverse that somebody is doing engineering should also learn about psychology. And I take that as an input from one of the podcasts or somewhere, and I registered myself in a psychology, MA psychology, and 2 years, 2.5 years of efforts, I cleared all subject and got degree, and it has really helped me to understand first of all myself because there are a lot of people feedback, you need to do this, you need to change this, that at every level you need to improve, right? But until unless you really realize what you need to improve, how you need to improve, why you are doing what you are doing, you can't change. And the psychology has really helped me to look into the roots of those behavioral aspects, right? And when you are able to change those roots, things will be visible. And this really helped me then again to have a different perspective when I become leaders to leaders.
Right.
Like now there are 80 member team, there are four
Hmm.
managers. I can really think through their minds, or I can think through their emotions. Empathy is one of the key element, and I think through uh, and take step back and reflect on what I'm doing. And so it is a learning, and that's the reason I said if you want to pursue a deeper sense of life, we should keep educating ourselves.
Excellent one. Excellent and very interesting. Actually, I had a follow-on question about psychology, but you actually covered it. So excellent because it is not a very straightforward combination, no? Engineering and psychology. But I'm sure it has added a lot of value, particularly now in your current role also, as you said.
Yes, yes.
So why don't you tell us about your role that you are playing today? Give us an insight into what does it mean to be a DGM in
Yeah.
Mercedes-Benz?
So important thing before I would say what is mean to be a DGM. How is the journey about it? Okay, let's make a little bit reflect. I was an engineer. I work hands on, and like any engineer, people have aspiration to go to the next level, and I was also having aspiration, right? But I realized that only one skill set, if you are expert in crash simulations, will not take you there. So you
Hmm.
need to really expand your horizon. You really need to, and this is why I'm talking, because people who are tomorrow joining the corporate world, and they do certain things and then say, oh, I should now deserve next level, next level. It doesn't happen like that. One promotion is okay, but if you are in long game, you need to
Mhm.
really expand your horizon.
Expand.
And
Okay.
I started taking up department initiatives, lot of collaboration with the different departments, taking up something how we can help other people, other disciplines, right? And then while doing this, innovation came on the way. So
Mhm.
become part of innovation, supporting innovation, then driving innovation, and then leading innovation. So it was like transformation. And while doing that, you need to also learn, you need to do a lot of new things like design thinking. I became design thinking innovation coach also. So this has really helped me to expand my horizon learning. And from crash engineer I become powertrain simulation leader, then powertrain simulation leader as a DGM. Now I'm coming back to my role as a deputy general manager in Daimler Trucks Innovation Center India. I'm responsible for uh, simulation, powertrain simulation, which means we do complete physics based simulation, thermal management, airflow simulations for battery, hydrogen combustion engines and everything. I have a team which does all data analytics. This is something which a new discipline along with my colleagues I have created, where we use data to solve engineering problems. There is a team which is control software. So we have all engine is after treatment systems, all of softwares. A team which validates the software also with me. Along with this, I'm responsible or leading innovation in the DTI which means IP team and the innovation team is with me along with one of my vice president. I lead that team. So there are four different diverse team which I right now support here. So that's my
Quite
profile.
interesting.
And we always think in term of the, we say we simulate physics, we simulate ideas, we simulate softwares, we simulate data. That's what we do in my team.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So, I understand that now taking up a leadership role, how, and you said like it has been a long journey for you. You are still a hands-on engineer, I assume, because once a hands-on guy he never and stay off from the core techie stuff. So I'm sure you do your own hands-on stuff now. But how does an average day for you look like? So how has your role from a work perspective transformed? So I'm sure that you have to look at all these wide variety of things. So typically, how does your day look like? What do you need to do on like a daily basis?
So in our company or any company in general, there are philosophies. In my company, DTICI, Daimler Truck, I would say very simple philosophy. You have three ways: leading self, leading other, leading business. Okay, so as an engineer, I do more on leading self. As a people leader, leading others, and as a business leader, leading business. So every day, our job is and right now today my job is how I become more of enablers, right? As an enabler, how I motivate, contribute to the people's decision making, their own contributions. So I see right now, my day start like go to the office, and then we see one thing, lot of issues. Okay, so it's a manager's it's a dark side of management, right? We say if you really want to be cognitively engaged, go for a technical job. If you really want to be wholly engaged, go for management job. It's a mind, body, soul, all will get engaged. So the one of the biggest challenge is that how in this VUCA world, the volatile, uncertain, ambiguous world, how do we and complex, how do we motivate people to see through those challenges and try to help them to solve the problem? That's our core job here. Let's take an example. We are developing a battery. Now when we go in office and we see that the new battery is not meeting our functional requirements, right? There is a team in Germany which is working to develop a prototype and testing and simulation. There is a team which is working with me on doing simulations, and there is a test failure. Now the test has failed. In simulation, we need to really anticipate and predict that.
Mm.
whether we are able to predict that
Right.
same failure or not, and then we can avoid the next prototype or avoid the next
Mm.
testing. So this is the job. Now anything which we do has a $1 million impact. Tomorrow, in my team along with our Germany, we recommend that build this vehicle or build this battery. They
Mm.
invest and build, and if it doesn't meet the functional requirement of
Mm.
safety, function, whatever, it has a very big impact on the finance, right? And it's also credibility of what I'm doing here. So this
Correct.
kind of stress, what I'm going to say, issues like technical issues. So that's
Mm.
one challenge, and we like that. We want that. That's our job here, and we are good into solving that, and we want more so that we can solve. The second is about how do you connect with people to understand their other part of challenges, right? Because right now Gen Z is coming in picture. There are four generation, I believe, we're working in any industry right now. Four generation. People who are fresher, people who are 5 to 7 year engineers experience, people 10 to 15 year, and then 15 plus 20 to 30 years experience who are verge of retiring, and everyone has a different challenge. And when we are there, we are at middle management. So there are people who are senior to us also sometimes reporting to us. There are people who are as fresh as just coming out of college reporting to us. Now, how do you manage
Mm.
this dynamics? That is one job which we do it, right? Every day there are different situation where one guy is not feeling well because of his affair or love marriage or whatever is not in good shape, which is we support them intelligently or emotionally or whatever way we can do. Other guy who is at the age where 15 years experience, 20-year experience like me, but not able to unfold himself or herself, not able to transform, and that there is a technology shift happening. The Gen AI is coming in picture. They are working on IC engine and battery cam, right? So there is a question on their own survival. How do you transform upskill, reskill the people also? So that is one of most important job. How do we do that, right? So that is my daily life, handling people, process, and product.
Excellent. Excellent. I think thank you for giving us this insights because many people, particularly engineers, actually do not have a clear view on what their managers are doing. And partly they feel that कुछ नहीं केबिन में बैठे रहते हैं.
Yes.
Right. So this is what I used to hear
Yeah,
from
yeah,
people
yeah.
around. Ki, not sure, but that is not actually true. I mean, there are different kinds of responsibilities which are there, may not be very visible to everybody. So that is why that was the motive for my asking you this question to get a little bit of wider understanding about the role. At the same time, I want to also check with you as fresh engineers or new engineers who are getting a few years of experience in their roles, how they should be planning their career. So, what would you suggest? Is there enough opportunity that exists in technical career path or management career path
Mhm.
in current work environments? What do you think? How should people decide about where they would like to go?
So what I'll say here, this is my observation right now. The new generation, when they come and start working on it, many a time work for 1 year, 2 year, and they get bored in subject. Okay, they said they want to shift job. That's fine. They want to shift company. They want to shift domain also. And this is where little bit I feel we need to be cautious, right? It's very important to learn theoretical aspect, which we'll learn during our 4 years of engineering or 2 years of masters or 4 year PhD. But the world other side is completely different. We are in
Mm,
corporate world. We different. We don't think in term of theories. We
correct.
think in term of practicality, like applications. We don't think in term of the implementations. We
Right.
think in term of the generating revenue out of that invention, and you
Correct.
are on
Correct.
innovation, right? People don't understand the difference between invention and innovation, and we know that invention is something which should generate revenue and go to the mass, and people come up with very crazy ideas and this and that, and it doesn't take place, and then they get
Mm,
demotivated, right? So my advice to the all people who are coming to the industry, they should spend good amount of time, at least 2, 3, 4, 5 years on particular subject. Of course, keep learning on the new technologies and build depth. In India, we
Excellent.
are missing depth. That is what my
Okay.
I say. When I work with German
Mm.
colleagues, a German fresher and our fresher, there is no mesh. German are here and we are here, right? Because our
Okay.
education depth is missing, and then our knowledge depth is missing. We have very good superficial knowledge, very good acting knowledge. Maybe I don't know why, but German, when they say they have very deeper knowledge, they have a little sense of patience. I don't know about current generation, but I'm talking about the maybe
Mm.
4 year before generation. They have very deeper subject knowledge. They spend good
Mm.
amount of time on developing certain knowledge, and then they use that, right? We develop very superficial knowledge. Today I learn this tool, tomorrow I learn this tool. A
This
tool
one.
is what? It just used, like we do finite element analysis. Tool is give garbage in, garbage out. You model something, you analyze, and you get a color contour, right? How do you design? So that's where. And the new term which I actually ask all of my engineer is
Mm.
to have what I call as a technical assets. Okay, we'll
Okay.
learn about our physical assets, which is very important. Financial assets, property, and this and that. We should
Mm.
have it. The new term which I am pushing all of my team member is to develop their technical assets. Think about it. You are taking an interview and there are three candidates in front of you. All are having 4 to 7 year experience, and they are quoting that I work in the ABCD company, more or less similar company, Tata Mahindra or
Right.
Satyam, Infosys, whatever. How do you differentiate based on the quality of work? Of course, you can talk about it. Projects, of course, you can talk about it. But if you have real technical asset which you can quantify in measurable way, and here what I mean here that how many methods you have developed, you own, which are
Mm.
used by your company, or if they can use by industry, right?
Okay.
You become a producer, not a consumer. You How many patent you hold, how many research paper you publish, and this is what I mean by technical assets. We need, if you want to in this field or any field, you have to keep accumulating the technical assets. And that assets, let's say you file patent in my team, our team filed this year 12 patent. In company, we filed 58 patent. Um, those patent will be owned by company, but the name of owner is you.
Correct.
So in
Is
your
you.
profile, you have patent, right? Now,
Correct.
a 7 year guy, 2 7 year guy, one says, I have 10 patent or 5 patent in this ABCD field. Another guy said, I work on this project and fully responsible, this and that. How do
Correct.
you manifest, right?
Correct.
And the concept of technical asset is this. If you work, you produce, you write a research paper, you write a technical journal paper, you write a white paper, you patent it. Every company has this platform and people are not using it. The very first day, I ask people, think through it. After 4 years, if you have 4 or 5 technical paper, you can justify your expertise.
No, excellent. I think, Sachin, that is an excellent point that you have made. Okay, very, very important. So I'm going to rephrase that just for re-emphasizing the whole point. And uh, so Sachin has been mentioning about technical assets like research papers or patents, IP, or maybe any other proof point that you can think of, which can stand, which can hold its weight and become a proof point for the depth of knowledge, right? Otherwise, it's just words. One guy's words against the another, because jobs are also competitive, right? There are 10,000 people competing for maybe a similar job. So how do you differentiate? And that is what I think Sachin is stressing on. Ensure that you build depth of knowledge, ensure that you build proof points, which can showcase or are a reflection of the depths that you hold, and which is, I think, very true. Very important point. Thank you. But one more question which I had there was, do you think that there are equal opportunities in a technical career path versus a management career path in the technology business?
So this I cannot be absolute right, but right now what I feel, I believe, my personal opinion, that India need more technical people than management, right? We lack on depth. And what I feel right now, if you are a people manager, 15, 10 years experience, let's take a simple example. And if you are a technical expert, 15 years experience and deep tech knowledge, the guy B has more opportunity to get job, start his own startups, or be more relevant to the industry, because we are in the era of knowledge industry. The new, but you need to be up to date. Of course, you need, with respect to technology, we need to up to date, and the right level you need to transform to a technical leader. I would say not a people leader, because people ability now you create a Gen AI agent, he will understand better emotion than me, and then he can talk more politely than me. He can do anything better than me. Gen AI agent can do what I do. People respect, but technical knowledge is the key differentiator right now. We see across industry right now, there are a lot of startups are coming. They don't want people leader. They want leader
Mm.
who can develop the product, right? Who can solve the complex problems. That's the reason I said higher education is important. If you can do, or if you cannot, go first 10 to 15 years on a deep tech. If you are in engineering field, if you are going for MBA, there also MBA we say, but there's also technology, not technically stuff. There's a different technical here. Here, core maths, physics, chemistry we are talking here. This is a different technical. So technical is very important. That's what I would say, and it has
Sure.
its own space. But if you want to do in management, go from day one, which means go IIM, go to any other college, do MBA, and do that. Don't go in engineering job and then you'll become a people leader after 10 years, and then you become project manager, program manager. You will become redundant, okay, and you will get fired.
Okay.
That's what I feel it. If you want to go management, go from day one. If you want to go into technology, be in technology, build, and then become a technical leader, and then of course you will be reasonable. And that's the reason people like us, like in IT, we also have to do a lot of reskilling, upskilling.
Oh, excellent. So, yes, I agree with you. At the same time, I would also say that irrespective, I will just quote your own example. Like you have been a very techie guy, you have been in-depth guy, but at the same time, over as you gain more and more experience, as you grow within the organization, you have to build breadth of knowledge outside technicality. So, for example, you did a psychology MA, or over with your experience now, you have a larger team to manage, which needs management skills. Even though, if even I, so I am of the view that even if you are, individual contributor at a very senior level, they need to have management and leadership skills. Let's call it leadership skills, because leadership skills involves looking at other management aspects of looking at innovation, creating new. So creating new products cannot happen by one guy. Even though your role as an individual contributor, you need to work with teams, you need to contribute, you need to lead the way, you need to lead people. They may not reporting to people, or being a manager of people directly should not be confused by leading people. So I think
Yeah,
that is the clarity, I think,
yeah, Chinmay, very,
required.
very good point, and thank you for putting it straightforward. I don't mean that you become individual contributor. There is no success if you are alone. Okay, it's only collaboration. When you talk about collaboration, you need to have the skill set of communication. Soft skill is the most
Is
important.
deep one. Exactly.
Soft skill. I was supposed to come on this point. Soft skill is the one of the key area where we are missing right now in India.
Mm,
As again quoting example of German and Indian, the
mm,
way they present topic, the way communicate, the way they put things in perspective, very different. This is one thing which we have to keep on learning. We have to keep on
right. Right.
increasing our breadth, like I said, whatever subject, because knowledge comes
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
from that subject, not the focus is that subject, but as an innovator, learning is from everywhere, right? That openness
That
has
is
to be
true.
there, the growth mindset has to be there, and tomorrow we'll become a technical leaders. Of course, we need to become technical leader or a people leader after 10 or 15 years, but it has to be systematic learning, and we have to keep acquiring knowledge. Every
That is true.
year I try to put like one degree or some one courses, and the most important course and learning is soft skill.
Mm,
This
understand.
is something which is missing right now, and all our new generation, all of you guys who are listening to this podcast, please give equal importance to communication skills, okay, networking skills, not on social media networking, one to one, face to face networking, real net worth kind of networking skill set. If you are not there and you are doing only what you are doing in silos, or you are doing alone and focus area, you have very limited growth, I would say.
Mm.
Collaboration is the most important. And with the open mind, you learn and grow
Right.
and build your that muscle also. That's a very important, equal. So after 5 years, Chinmay, it's not my technical skill. 7 years is held. Technical curves are like this, okay,
Right.
like this and like this,
Like, okay.
okay. So after fourth or fifth year of my work, I had one German boss, and I was not getting promoted. And I went to there,
Mm.
his cabin, and I asked him what's happening. So he gave me two very, very important gyan, and I really want to share with you that. Uh, so one is, he told, Sachin, you are having a lot of passion, ideas, innovation, technology, and you want to do something like this. But our product, our company's starting point is this, right? Now you want to do this, work is of this level. Now either you can get frustrated, or you can take this work to this level. Your choice. That's that. That's what he told me. Okay, and I really like it. So, and then next what? Next he said only one thing. Whenever I look at you, you are you are sounding like frustrated guy. You are always complaining, right? And this, I was complaining because I'm not having good work, I'm not having this work, I can do more and all that. And he told, there's no point in complaining, you go and create the work. He
Okay.
empowered me, and this is the shift in attitude. He told me, you start everything with no, and you deliver work. So why start with no? Right.
Okay.
So, that transformation, after that, I just did one change, and that change which I told about, change in attitude. The change in
Mm.
attitude means I am the responsible for bringing good work. I am the responsible to take the work to the next level. I am responsible to create opportunity. And this is my learning as a leader. You ask me as a leader what you want to do, or as a how you become leader. Only one difference: leader creates opportunities. Okay, follower seeks the opportunities. I
Mm.
was seeking for opportunities. Now I don't seek opportunity, I create opportunities. I have attitude of creating opportunity, I develop that attitude, and that really helped me. Maybe I can create or not, that's a different thing. Maybe I have more failures now than success because I experiment a lot, right? I have more failure than success, but I try, I create opportunities, and that has really helped me to become whatever I am in my area right now. And still, there's a lot of things to learn, a lot of things to develop, but that one attitude has really, really helped me. And this is what I told to anyone who comes to me and say, I want to be leader, give me a job, something, some give me some responsibility. And I told, if you want to be leader, create the job, create opportunities. That's it.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I think that's a fantastic point. So now I think if you reflect on your career,
Mm.
if you think back on your career, what were those key decision points, no, which have helped you shape your career? I mean, there will be, or let us call it decision points as well as success factors. So couple of, I think you already have hinted about a few of them in your talk so far. But
Yeah.
if we can just think back and know key points जहाँ पे no जहाँ पे decisions were very important or overall success factors.
So one, I can share with you my incident. So I was doing, like I told, crash simulations and everything, right? I was in cars, and I was
Mm,
leading a team of 4 or 5 people.
right.
And then my boss called me and say, I want to start a new team, fresh team, and you will be again alone.
Okay.
Okay. And you do for the vans and trucks. The cars always better, like luxury, everything. And
Right.
then
Right.
in trucks, you do quad safety. Earlier, there's what trucks are. What do you do? I was not aware. I know there are a couple of things which you do. I was doing first I for trucks only, safety regulations. But that was one trigger point. I told boss, let's do it. Okay.
Okay.
So I jumped. And when I jumped, he told me, you will have a team and everything. There was no team. I was alone with the half of engine, only half. It's like point 0.5 I have to be in car, point 0.5 into the trucks.
Okay. Okay.
Because they told, we tried uh, India team for trucks and vans, it didn't work. So we don't trust right now. so we'll not give you even full. So and the previous guy has to leave the company because he was not able to justify. So it was like a huge risk.
Right.
And
Understood.
from that, uh, half of engineer, half of contribution of one engineer, today we have a big team of 30 engineers doing all safety simulation for trucks and buses and vans from India. This is what my achievement, that's why I
Excellent.
got reward also. So the key decision one which I took to take a risk, right? Take a
Yeah.
calculated risk. Let's see what will happen. So there is a conducive environment. There are supporting people. There are supporting management. Then you should take the risk.
You should. Mm.
And that one decision, I really. Second thing, when I was doing crash and they asked, can you do powertrain durability or something like that? Uh, uh, Next level. And then I learned leader should have, and one of my boss give me again, leadership. Leaders should be mobile. They should have mobility within them, right? Shift
Mm.
left, right, tilt here and there. Not go, I will do only this, right? Then you cannot. So it little bit contrasts to my previous statement, but when you leader, you have to be like that.
Yeah.
So uh, mobility, I took that as one of the element. Give me a task, anything, I'll do it. And then I said, now I'll think different tasks, new projects, and I'll deliver. So this two shift when opportunity came to me, I took it with a kind of a calculated risk that jump into it and take it up.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think evaluate your risk, believe in your capability,
Yes.
and then take a calculated risk. I think that has a enormous risk reward.
Yeah,
And
and I have a contrast theory here. Contrast theory is like this growth mindset. We talk about it, right? A lot of
uh,
people and guys who are
right.
listening maybe can Google what is growth mind and everything. But we have this circle of control, circle of influence, circle of concern, right? And when we go and listen any management theory, they said, "Oh, you work on your circle of control where you can control things. You work on circle of influence where you can influence them. But you work more on the circle of concern, and only you are where you can't do anything."
Mm.
Correct. I am thinking if you really have growth mindset, if you want to disrupt the thing, and you should also work on your circle of concern. Go and challenge the status quo. That is my attitude always. That go and
Mm.
challenge the status quo. If you don't like certain thing, speak up, go
Mm.
and challenge and come up with the new things. This is the way
Very
why
good.
we can't do it, and that's what people should think. And,
Very
if you
nice.
really want to go beyond.
Yeah, you have become a true entrepreneur now.
I,
Really working and modifying the company and growing with the company.
yeah,
Yeah,
along
that
with
is
the
true.
company, and all people who are in my company are also support you, so it's all
True,
environmental,
true,
right? Yeah.
true, true, true. Now, let me come back to your latest achievement, which is a book, which you spoke about on the chat. You have come
Mhm.
out with a book. So tell us briefly about what is all that and how come you thought about a book.
So, since 2016, we are together and we have done a fantastic entrepreneurship journey together, correct? So, before that, I was involved in digital life, driving India innovation
Mm.
from MBIDI. Um, so, likewise, around 8 to 10 years, I've been in innovation field. And we have faced a lot of challenges and we learn a lot of things. We are in a R&D field. We have thought processes, we have ideas, but there are limitations when we talk about it, right? Limitation in terms of implementing those ideas to the product and generating revenue around it.
Mm.
Specifically, when we talk about the captive centers or the GCCs or the centers which are away from the headquarter, any center which are away from the headquarter, your influence on the product gets little low. Okay, the
Okay.
decision making happening somewhere else,
Right.
and then you do something somewhere else, and this create a lot of gap. So I
Okay.
thought about all our innovation sprints which we ran together.
Mm.
We conducted with the various partners, also external partners, internal partner, and when we look into all, the absolute success is little less. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
what I conduct absolute success is that when we launch a new model, of trucks, buses, cars, iPhone, anything, how many features are coming from this center?
Right.
We are part of all process development, whether you talk about mobile phones, you talk about the automobile. We are part of, from India, we are doing a lot of things. But how many features are coming from India, which are like boasted? Like out of 10 feature launch, new 3 are developed completely indigenously in India. Very few company has it, okay? Because of the work architecture. And that's what I put in
Mm.
mind and wrote a book, Captive Catch, the challenges of driving innovation within organization. Okay, that's the idea of book. So we are doing every time same thing. So my first chapter is about euphoria of leaders. So leaders start with, oh, let's do innovation, right? Without understanding, learning, all that we do hackathons and then all that. So the euphoria of the leader, and then it euphoria settled down after 2 3 months, and then oh, very difficult to get time to make it product. POC till
Mm.
POC, everyone take it. From POC to product is altogether different journey. We
Okay. Right.
from idea, we have thousands of idea, we have hundreds of POC. We should have at least four or five products, but that's not happening
Mm.
many a time because POC to product is altogether a different ballgame.
Different volume. Yeah.
Right, and we don't understand that sometimes. So the first euphoria of leader, second chapter is euphoria of the team member also join, and you might know some team member join first day, second day, third day, fourth day disappear, right? So so I likewise I thought about 21 questions which you
Okay.
ask yourself while driving any innovation,
Okay.
and put it into 7 chapters.
Okay.
Okay, and I write it like third one is experts without expertise. So we call everyone expert. This is the expert, this is the expert, but where is the real expertise?
Okay.
Expertise, and also different ways: functional expertise versus product expertise, technical expertise versus business expertise, user expertise versus developer expertise, right? So these are
Okay.
different expertise, and we are not aware of that, and we say everyone is expert, let's create a product. Okay. Say, third is access to users. R&D center doesn't have direct access to users. The sales and marketing team has. And even
Correct.
R&D center was sitting quite far from the headquarter, has no
Mm.
access. So
Correct.
insert the users is, we hypothesize, we create hypothetical user. We
Correct.
run design thinking and create hypothetical users. Then we do everything, and then things are not that big. Everyone want moonshot.
Correct.
We cannot have moonshot every week, right?
True.
Moonshot
True.
doesn't happen every week. So, and then we try to fix uh, core from peripheral. That is another problem. The core is somewhere else. We do something else. And the last one is we always struggle to identify right problem. Where is the problem? After all this drama, we come and say, "Oh, which problem we are supposed to solve again? Tell me a problem." So
Okay. Okay.
I put all this in this my book,
Yeah. Nice.
7 chapter, 21 questions, and ask people to think through it before you start your own innovation journey or restart. Yeah,
Excellent. Excellent. I think very nice. So, guys, do check out Sachin's book. It will be available on Amazon, I think, right, Sachin?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So check it out, and I'm sure it will help you, become a better innovator at work, which by the way is a necessity nowadays. Yeah.
Yes.
So we're running out of time,
Yeah.
Sachin. So I have one last question, which perhaps can help us recap the key insights that you shared. So my question would be just summarizing your thoughts. What would be the final tips that you would give young professionals and engineering students on how they could what they should be doing, the skills they should be building, or actions they should be taking as they enter into the professional world and corporate world, and how they can build a successful career for themselves. So maybe distill your thoughts into some 4 or 5
Okay.
points.
So actually, I categorize this into 2 points. One is attitude, other is ability.
Okay.
Attitude is we should always have attitude of value addition. I learned from Manjunath only value exchange. If our conversation is not having value exchange, if you're not adding value to me,
Yeah, yeah.
if I'm not adding value to you, doesn't make sense. My key learning, okay,
Excellent.
from
Yeah, yeah,
Manjunath.
yeah.
So I really
Same
follow that.
here.
Right. So value exchange and value creation is very important. Don't be consumer only, try to
Correct.
be producer. So that's
Mm.
attitude, one important thing. Now we talk about skill set. We need to have a multiple diverse skill sets. So I people call about T model. So you have one depth skill.
Mm,
Suppose you are domain expert in mechanical machine design, then you know peripherals. You are expert in the C, you should also know Java, and this is blah 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 blah. Little bit the soft skill, T model.
mm.
My request is don't go with the T model, build pi model, pi skill set, which means you have two deeper skills
Okay.
totally to survive in this disruptive world. Okay,
Mm,
if you develop a skill and you depend on that, if that skill become tomorrow redundant, let's say you are engineer and the
mm,
battery technology came in picture, right? What you will do? All the internal combustion engine engineers are useless then, right? So it's happened last 5 years. There was no need of the engineers who can build engines because we are not building engines, right? So the people who are built engine last 10 years suddenly become
correct.
jobless or
Suddenly, yeah, yeah, yeah.
stressful, right? And then AI came in picture. Then people who are even doing all basic work will be done by the AI. So my request: choose two, at least two domain which
Mm,
are little bit diverse from each other and have deeper skill, and then you have wider skill.
mm,
Okay, so that's any two domain, and it's very, and we call it pi
mm,
model. I don't now push for the T model, I push for the pi model, because we don't know tomorrow hydrogen combustion will come, batteries are not required. What you'll do? Correct.
mm.
In term of mechanical, I'm talking. And if AI comes, then what do you do? So you have to ask these questions and build your pi model. So that's my ability-wise feedback. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Yes. So, yeah, I think we'll conclude our talk here, guys. So, yeah, I'm sure that you guys must have found this talk very, very insightful. Very, very excellent and practical learning shared by Sachin from his own experience. And thank you, Sachin, for very candidly sharing your journey, your experiences. I'm sure that will provide a great learning exercise and good insights for guys who are watching. And
Thank
I
you.
wish you all the luck success with your book, as well as I hope that you become a pioneer at Daimler. And no, we hope to see some new products coming out with you leading the ship. So all the best for that.
Thank you. Thank you. And
And
that's what from India we
thank
would like to
you so
contribute.
much
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.